In this video, I am going to walk you through the 3 hidden behaviors that are keeping you stuck and how to unleash and unlock yourself towards the success that you know you deserve. Hi there, my name is David Binns, and I have the profound privilege of advising and mentoring some of the top coaches in the online space and leaders in the online space. And if you're new around here, we don't take the approach that everybody else does. We take a very different approach. And the approach is within, because we are at a point in time in this industry, and frankly, at a point in time in this world, where you don't need more information. What's required is transformation. So the work around here is providing you with thoughts, ideas, tools, teachings, and insights for you to break through your habitual patterns that are getting in the way between where you are and where you want to go. So let's get into the video. There are 3 primary hidden behaviors that you're playing out in your business, and they are getting in the way between where you are and what you really want. Let's break them down. Number 1 is what we call a double binding message. And we're going to break that down exactly what that is in a minute. Number 2, self-betrayal. These are acts of self-betrayal. And number 3 is self-sacrifice. Now, I want you to consider something as somebody who's really good at what they do. You are very accomplished. I want you to know with where you are and where you're stuck, you are absolutely not alone. And if you needed this reminder, I'm going to provide it. The reminder is this: what you see online from your favorite coach or influencer, whoever it is not always as it appears. Given the nature of what I do, I see behind the curtain and hear behind the curtain of what's actually going on in this industry. Now, that doesn't apply to everybody. It certainly doesn't apply to the people that come to work with me. I only work with the best of the best in this industry. But there is a condition in this industry where double binding messages are causing a lot of destruction in the trust economy. Let's break this down to talk about exactly what this is. A double binding message is a conflicting frequency. You are saying one thing and doing another thing. Now, this is not to displace the humanity that all of us have. This is not an excuse to be perfect. But why I'm highlighting this hidden behavior is because the moment you identify your double binding messages and the moment you restore the integrity with those double binding messages, you are going to become energetically congruent with your body of work. When you become energetically congruent with your body of work, there is no resistance, there is no friction between you and calling in your dream clients. So here you are saying one thing. Then over here, you aren't following what you just said here. For example, if you are a men's coach and you coach on marriage, you coach on fitness, you coach on whatever aspect you do, and you are not following what you teach or living what you lead in accordance with what you say online, that is a double binding message where you are saying one thing and you are doing another thing. I would really invite you to take out your journal or notebook and begin to look at where am I being a double binding message. I'm saying one thing, but I'm doing another thing. I say I go to the gym every morning at 5 a.m., but I actually don't. I say that I follow this habit all the time or that I live this way, but I actually don't. This is a really powerful exercise and opportunity for you to call yourself out, to restore yourself back to power. Because what this does, if you've seen my integrity video, definitely go watch that. Pardon me, if you haven't, go watch that. But what happens when your integrity goes out is these dark clouds begin to cloud your energetic field. When you're not operating with integrity or living in integrity, or you're being a double binding message, you are actually clouding up and creating friction between you and the field, you and God, you and your spiritual self. And the moment that you begin to restore the integrity and stop operating inside of double binding messages, doing one thing, saying one thing, and doing another, the entire game will change for you. Now, let's move on to self-betrayal. Acts of self-betrayal are very covert, but over time, they have a huge effect on our physical, mental, and financial and spiritual well being. An act of self betrayal has a request, perhaps it's a meeting, something to do that comes to you. In most cases, people aren't even aware that they're betraying themselves. And you want to take a look inside of your business at where do I have requests, meetings, to dos that are coming towards me that I do not want to do, but I do them anyway. This also applies to your marriage. This also applies to your relationships, your children, coworkers, people on your team, staff, everywhere. And you really want to look at what requests, meetings, or to dos, people are asking you to do something that come towards you, but you know in your body, it's a no. Your intuition is a no. And you got to stop doing that because the more acts of self betrayal that you participate in actively, the harder it is to build your business, the harder it is to attract dream clients. And honestly, that's not why you got into this business. Now, I want to move on to the next one. This one's nasty. Self sacrifice. Where are you sacrificing self in service of somebody else or something else? Are you hosting too many client calls every single week, but you're doing it in service of the business? That would be a self sacrifice. Are you running multiple group programs online every single week when you know you don't really want to, but you do it again because the revenue is really good? Are you doing things around the house that you know you do not want to do, but you do them anyway and sacrifice self? You really want to take a look at where you know that you want to be doing what you're doing. These are positive frequency elements. Then you know that there's things that you're doing inside of your business that are a negative frequency. You can feel the tension in your body, you can feel the stress in your mind, you overthink. We all respond to self sacrifice in very different ways. And you want to look for yourself at where in my business do I love to do what I do? Where in my business do I not love doing what I'm doing? Let me give you an example. In a former version of myself as an online coach, I was working with a lot of real estate agents because I have 20 years of real estate experience. So it made sense that I went and worked with real estate agents because I was very successful in that field. But over time, I was doing sales calls at 5 o'clock, 6 p.m. at night. I was running 2 group programs every single week with 30 to 50 people. I was managing requests over Facebook Messenger, over Instagram, over texts. It was just one giant bucket of self sacrifice because we self sacrifice when we are fueled by fear, lack, and scarcity. So we will do whatever is required to bring in the revenue, to help out the clients. Maybe this is happening at home for you as well. I don't know, but I would invite you to take a look. So, what I would invite you to do is go through each of these elements: the double binding message, the acts of self betrayal, and self sacrifice, and notice where those behaviors are showing up for you and begin to take action to restore those elements for yourself and in your business and other parts of your life. Basically, stop doing it and put the integrity back in. Start honoring yourself over obligation. Start honoring yourself over self sacrifice. Sounds really simple, right? And it is. And that's what I want to leave you with. And otherwise, we'll see you next week.